Hi and welcome to this video in the QPSMR CATI up and running series, and in this video we're going to be looking at how you set up your quotas and manage your quotas in a project that you're planning to field using QPSMR CATI, and you'll find the files for this in the files for video 51. So the first thing you need to decide is what questions or entries you're going to use to control your quota. And for this particular project, I've chosen the member question and the event question. They're two fields that were on the sample file that I pulled through in the from the sample file in previous videos. So I'm going to first of all make these two questions available to be used in the quota file. And they have to be single response questions. They can't be multiple character or any other type of entry. They can be variables, but in this occasion I'm picking two questions that are being pulled through from the sample file, but they must be single. So I need to indicate that these are the questions that I want to make available in the quota. So I can check on this box at the top here to say that I want it available in the quota. And I can check on the event here in the same way and click on quota there. All right, it's now available to be used in the as a part of the quota management. Let's save it, and I have to go into the supervisor function to set up my quotas. So let's do that. Let's go into the quota control and let's create a quota file. It defaults to the name of the QDF, which is project action quota.csv, keep that, and it's made that file now. It's empty, so I can go back in and edit that quota file, choose it, and you can see what happens now is you've got some bottles here to fill, as it were, with your different quotas that you're hoping to achieve. Well, let's say for this particular survey my target is 70 respondents, and in there I want 50 members, 20 non-members, 40 that attended the event and 30 that didn't. So I'm going to click on the wanted button so that I can edit this data because they're all set to 0 at the moment, and click on member, and using these buttons down here I can just add in the number that I want. So I click 5 times, I get 50 in here, and you can see that's now turned blue. I can go to the non-member, click on 10, 20, attended the event. I can click on this 4 times and did not attend the event 3 times. And so now all my bottles have turned to blue, and I've actually set my quotas for this particular project. So that's fine, and that means now that I could carry on to the next step of the process, which is to build my telephone interview files so that my interviewers could access this sample and the quota to carry on and actually conduct interviewing. Now the supervisor can always inspect those quotas, so I can go into the supervisor function and view the quota file. And of course I haven't done any work at all yet. I can see that none of these records have been finished or got nothing towards my sample. But of course, if I had now, say, 10 interviewers starting on the project, I'd already made the files necessary so that they could do the data collection using the telephone, we would see these quotas filling up, and the supervisor would just need to click on refresh from file and it would update with any completed interviews. And we'll be seeing that in action a little bit more when we come to conducting telephone interviews in a subsequent video. Now that's fine for a survey where my quotas are just 2 entries that I want to have, if you like, filled separately. Let's now make it a little bit more different to that. Let's delete this quota file. And let's say that we want a quota that's members within the event. So I want to get so many members who did attend the event, so many members who didn't attend the event, so many non-members who attended the event, and so many members who didn't attend the event as well. So we need to do that, we need to build a variable. So I can insert a variable just as I would do normally. So I could call this the quota. I would change it to single. By doing that, I can click on the quota button. and I can go into responses, insert a response, and I can just type in the different combinations here. So member a 1 and event. A 1 would pick members and attended the event. I can obviously do it through the definition button here, so I could pick insert, and I'd have to then find the member. There it is, a member. Okay, insert event did not attend. Okay, okay, so that would do the same thing through the menus. Insert another response, and I'm going to type in the syntax this time, member 2, and I'm typing it wrongly, event 1, and finally member 2 and event. Oops, I've made a mistake on the entry, event 2. Okay, and now we've got, if you like, interlocking cells in a variable called vQuota that has, if you like, member or non-member within attendee at the event and non-attendee. I can save that. So that's made the quota file, the vQuota variable that we're going to use. I now must remember to turn off the quotas that I set before. So I'm going to turn off quota for member, turn off quota for event, save that. And I can now use this in the supervisor function. I can just go through the same process, create a quota file, accept the name, click OK, back to the supervisor function, edit the quota, pick the file, and I can now, if I just widen this, I can now do exactly as I did before. So I can set the wanted for the member that attended the event. Let's say we want 30 of those. And I want 30 of those, 20 of those, and 10 of those, and close. And now I have successfully built my quota file as interlocking cells. And again, I can view that just as I did before and see how my project's going. Of course, it's not started yet, but again, that'll be covered in a later video. Well, that completes this video on setting up quotas and managing them. Those quotas can be changed, by the way, by the supervisor after interviewing was started, so that if suddenly there's a need to add or change the quotas, perhaps because one of the quotas is hard to reach or something like that, that all can be done. Well, that completes this video. Thank you for joining me.